So with the Nintendo Switch 2 basically coming out tomorrow as of the making of this video, I wanted to quickly get up a tips and tricks video for Fantasy Life I. I'm about 25 hours into the game. I've spent a lot of time doing side missions and learning the game's mechanics so far. I have yet to complete the game, so keep that in mind, so there won't be any spoilers in this video. But there's a lot of things that I wish I knew when I first started playing it that would have really helped me later on in the game. Alright, so I made a list of about 13 things that you should do immediately to make your playthrough as smooth as possible. Alright, number 1, do these things ASAP. It says, make sure you pick a combat life right away. If you progress the story at the beginning and leave the beginning island without a combat life, you will have to fight with your stick until you get back to the island, thus making it very difficult to progress. So there's a story segment where you have to go up to the dragon and you can finally leave that first island. Make sure you picked a combat life, otherwise it'll make you use that life you had when you first started with the stick, and it's very, very weak. And there are some fighting segments with no buddy system or anybody helping you really, so you'll be alone and it'll be kind of difficult to get through to the next sequence to where you can come back to the island and pick a combat life. So just make sure you pick a combat life right off the bat. Once you finish the tutorial, you can switch to whatever life you want. It's literally like a 5 to 15 minute tutorial depending on how long you take to do it. Alright, number 2. In my opinion, the Hunter life is the most OP. If you want an easy go of the game, pick this life. It's quick, easy to level up, and powerful. Personally, I like the Paladin life more because I always play as a sword and shield type when these games have that type available, because you can block. I like being able to block in the games I play. The Hunter life is just so damn powerful, it makes this game super easy. So keep that in mind. If you want an easy go, or if you want a challenge, pick like the Hunter class, because I mean the game's not like very difficult to begin with. But the big bosses that are higher levels than you can easily take out if you're patient and can dodge correctly with a low-level hunter, which is the archer class. The archer class is way overpowered, man. So yeah, for my first playthrough, I'm just going to use that, and then I'll switch back to my paladin. Alright, number 3. Now this is just a personal thing. You can do whatever you want and play however you want, but I would recommend you get every life at the beginning's tutorial done. That way you can level them up as you play throughout the game, the main game storyline, doing missions, gathering items, stuff like that. So at the beginning of the game, you can sit there and switch to each life, and the little tutorial, and even let you skip it, but I would recommend playing through them because they're pretty cool. Then you get a little side story and stuff, and they only take about 5 to 10 minutes each. Again, depending on how long it takes you to complete them. And once you get it to the fledgling stage for each and every one, then when you're playing the game, you can switch to whatever life you want and level them up when you're gathering items, doing combat, whatever. It just makes it much more smooth experience rather than going all the way back to the island, picking that life later on when you're trying to level it up. You could have been leveling it up retroactively while playing the entire game. Alright. Number 4. When gathering items, you can press right on the D-pad and switch to whatever life you want while on the main map, and there's like mushrooms, shells, plants, flowers, whatever. Let's say you have your cooking life that's really, really low and you want to level it up without having to actually do the cooking little mini game. You can actually do that here. It levels it up a little bit. Now, when you get to the higher levels, like let's say it's level 20, it's going to take a lot longer and a lot more gathering, but it does help that. But something I noticed is if you have a buddy with you and you tell them to, let's say, mine or cut down a tree for you, then if you turn on that life, it should level it up, which makes leveling that up much faster also. So it's like power leveling in a sense. So keep that in mind too, so you can do that as well. Number 5, do your combat lives missions ASAP. Make sure you complete your Combat Lives mission list ASAP so you can level up your skill tree and get better gear faster. Makes the game much easier later in the story. So when you get your Fantasy Life, Combat Life, I'll just say Combat Life, it has a list of missions you can do, and you have to complete a mission list so that you can rank up. And most of those are in the first area. Like once you get to the, I want to say the Zelda Forest, because they copy Ocarina of Time. I don't want to give a spoiler, but basically it's the Ocarina of Time forest. Once you get to the forest, you can literally get almost all the way to the last class of the Archer class. I don't know how the other classes are. I've only played mostly the Archer class, Hunter class, ever since I figured out how powerful it was. But it'll allow you to level up more, get stronger, and basically fill out your skill tree much quicker so that you can progress the storyline much easier. I got to a point where I was having a little rough time doing damage, and the fights weren't like super difficult because, like I said, this game's not hard, but I wasn't doing a lot of damage. I'm like, man, why am I doing like no damage? Well, it's because I hadn't been able to level up because I had hit a roadblock, because it locks it to your class level. So you have fledgling, I believe it's apprentice, and now I believe I'm at, like, I think hero's the maximum one. I think I'm expert right now with the hunter, but I think it goes up to hero, and then you can unlock almost everything. So, and if you're playing on PlayStation, you have to get the hero class with every life, which that's going to take some time. All right, so make sure you do those as soon as you can. And for doing those missions, some of them require like creatures that show up at night or during the day. So let's say, oh, and some of them are boss enemies also. So let's say you want to fight that boss again. You don't have to wait for very long. You can literally just go to an inn, your house, or any place that has a bed that allows you to sleep a day, and then go right back to the wherever dungeon it is or place you need to find the creature you need to kill, and it'll reset. So you can get through those missions much, much faster. Like one of the missions I was doing needed, I believe it was like a Black Panther, and I'm like, oh man, I have to go all the way into this dungeon multiple times to get that stupid thing to spawn, because there's only 2 and the mission required 3. So I had to respawn it only once, but not having to wait a whole, day of in-game playtime to have them respawn was I got through it pretty quickly. So I got all the way to expert, and I've only been in the game for like 20 hours. So keep that in mind. Number 6. When you finally unlock buddies in the buddy system and you start getting the RPG team filled up, make sure you go through and you equip your buddies with the best gear that you can possibly give them. It makes them much more useful in combat and gathering materials. Number 7. When gathering materials like tree chopping, mining, farming, etc., make sure you have a buddy on your team with the same life so she can help you gather faster. Helps a crap ton when gathering. So a cool little mechanic that they have in this game is, let's say you're mining a rock or you're chopping down a tree or farming, you can have a buddy of the same class basically help you out. And it makes it much, much easier trying to get those high-level mining things done or high-level trees cut down, because you only have so much stamina, so it kind of makes it difficult to get some of those. So it's really cool that they put that in the game. I really enjoy that part of the game. Number 8, make sure you go to your home base every real-world day to get the flowers collected. They are one of the game's currencies, and you'll need a lot of them for the late-game items. So basically, once you unlock the robot, which is really cool, they have this little mechanic where you can literally hit I believe it's the L button, L trigger or right trigger, and he'll just collect every one of them on the island automatically. I'm shocked they did this, because if this was like Animal Crossing, they absolutely would have made you go do it manually, and it would have taken forever just to keep you in the game. But since this game has so much other things to do, like combat, dungeons, going exploring, doing all sorts of stuff, I'm really, really grateful that they have this feature in the game. And I'm shocked how quickly you unlock it too. Like, you just play through the storyline and get to the robot, that joins your island that allows you to basically terraform the island. And dude, you can just gather stuff right away, and it helps so much. Like, you have no idea. All right, now number 9. When building houses, bridges, or anything on the island, you can leave the game and it will be done when you come back later. You don't have to leave the game on for it to finish. So I believe this uses the console's actual clock, and it determines when it's done that way. So it's not like you have to leave the game in suspend mode. It's not like you have to actually sit there and walk around until it's done. You can literally save, turn the game off, come back, or leave the game in sleep mode, and then it'll be done by the time you get back, which is really cool. And this also works for when you're waiting for bosses to respawn, which takes like 5 minutes or something. You can literally just suspend the game, go take a dump, grab a drink, come back, and it should be ready to go, which is really cool. Number 10, if you ever accidentally skip a tutorial and forget how to do something, all the tutorial stuff is right there in the menus. You just have to search for what you missed, boom, you're ready to go, and you can figure out how to do it that way. There's been a couple times where the thing just kept going and going and going, and so I accidentally kept pressing the button, and I missed how to do something, like something that you can unlock, or like a little side mini game thing. I'm like, oh crap, how do I do it again? And I had to go look it up. So it's really cool that all the tutorial stuff is just right there for you in the menus if you accidentally skip them, or if you're not paying attention because you're tired from work all day. Number 11, farming bosses will get you more buddies much faster. They drop at random. However, I've gotten almost all of mine from the carrot boss in the maze forest. You'll know what I'm talking about when you get there. All you have to do is sleep at an average inn or your house, and once an in-game day goes by, it resets all the enemies. This also helps with completing combat life missions like we talked about earlier. So yeah, there's this carrot boss. I believe it's a carrot. They use the same character for radish boss. Anyway, so there's this carrot boss in the maze, and if you go at night, they're all asleep, so you can kill them pretty quickly. I've gotten pretty much 8 or 9 of, I can't remember what they're called, but basically the buddies you have to transform back into normal people, like the Strangelings, I think is what it's called. And I've gotten like 9 of them from the same creature. Like, I've gotten a couple from other ones, but most of the ones I've got is just from him. And I was just messing around trying to level up and do missions. Every time I crossed him and killed him, he gave me a Strangeling. I'm like, okay, cool. And they were all different too. I'm like, nice. So keep that in mind until they patch it out. They'll probably end up patching it out. All right, number 12, you can power level your new level 1 buddies just by gathering items or going on high level combat zones and taking out enemies. They will level up super fast. So you don't have to worry about going to like a low level zone to try to help level them up. You can literally go to whatever level you're at. Let's say you're at a dungeon that's level 30 and you just got a new Strangeling buddy on your team and you're trying to level them up and they're at level 1. You can just go in there, kill like maybe 3 enemies, and they'll be at level 10, 15 like instantly, because it levels them up so fast. So keep that in mind. Leveling up your buddies that are low levels doesn't take very long, especially if you have other super strong buddies too, because the game is kind of smart. Unless it's a boss fight, they'll typically stay away from enemies until you get to a big boss, and then they just kind of stand in the blast radius and get murdered. Once you get to that point, then they're hopeless. But the smaller enemies, they're actually pretty good at getting out of the way. Number 13, the last thing I have so far until we get to more videos and I get further into the game. One thing I didn't realize is you can fast travel from the map. You don't have to walk over to the dragon to do so. As long as you have activated the fast travel locations, you can fast travel from the map. Makes things much easier. See, for some reason, because the way the storyline did it, it made you walk up to the dragon each time to go to the next area. I thought you had to do that. But once you have an area unlocked, or the little icon that allows you to fast travel on the map, you can literally be anywhere, as long as it's not in a dungeon. You can literally be anywhere outside, press the map button, pick one of those sections, and the dragon will just fly by and pick you up. And you can just fast travel that way. You don't have to walk all the way back to town and go up to the dragon to fast travel. So I wish I knew that at the beginning, because I spent a lot of time walking back and forth. I'm like, man, I wish this game had a fast travel system. And, well, I just tried it one day. I'm like, oh, son of a mother. And I was like, okay, I guess it is in the game. Anyway, sound off in the comments below. Let me know if I missed up anything or missed something, because, like I said, I'm only 22 hours into the game, but I noticed a lot while playing it. And as always, thank you for checking out the channel. It's starting to get some traction, so thank you very much. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers before the console comes out, but that's obviously not going to happen because it comes out tomorrow. But you never know. I might wake up tomorrow, boom, channel has 1,000 subscribers. That would be awesome. Thank you for watching, and stay frosty.